Beer Later guy just surprised me. I did order a camera from Henry's 5 days ago, and the last update I got was, we are processing your order. So I actually called them yesterday and couldn't get through, didn't hear anything. And then today, no updates through email or whatever. Here it is. I think this is the new camera, a7R4, baby. Let's open it and see if that's, I hope. Whoa, that's gotta be what it is. Actually, oh wait, I ordered a camera strap as well. It might just be the strap. Ah, let's find out. Oh no! Feels kind of heavy for a strap. I'm gonna be so disappointed if this is a camera strap, a Peak Design camera strap. Hey, it's a camera. Now let's see the shape. Supposed to be rated 8 plus. We're gonna have some work to do. We gotta see how many shutter actuations are on this baby. Get it set up the way we want it. There's our battery. Yeah, so overall, it's in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of wear on the one button right there for releasing the lenses, and then a little bit of wear on the back right here on the C3 button, and that's it. Other than that, I mean, the screen looks in great shape. We just have to see how many actuations are on this bad boy. Oh, the shutter looks like it's seen some use too. So to go with the new a7R4, we actually purchased a new 300 megabyte a second SD card and UH2 card reader. See, these cards here have double slots on the back, so they read twice as fast. This is a 61 megapixel camera, guys. This is crazy. My current camera, the a7R3, is 42, and that's plenty. I actually wish this didn't have that many. But it has improvements in autofocus and a bunch of other stuff that make it a worthy upgrade, especially at half the price of a new one. $2,000 I paid for this used one. So let's see how many shutter count actuations it has on it, and hopefully it's not like 300,000. Okay, a couple things about this camera, guys. I'm smiling. Yeah, it's got a couple little dings on it, which, you know, I mean, my other camera's 5 years old, doesn't have a mark on it. That's just the way I am, right? But when you buy used stuff, so I was like, oh, this thing's probably going to have like 300,000 shutter count on it. They're made for up to 500,000 shutter actuations, okay? So they're made tough. Nobody's going to take 500,000, I would hope, photos with this. These cameras were released in 2019. However, the battery in here suggested to me that this is a 2021 camera. The battery has a date on it of 2021, and I thought, well, maybe that's not the original battery that came with that camera. However, I'll show you the shutter count of this camera that I just bought for $2,000, 10,938. That's friggin' awesome. The camera's like brand new. The body's a little beat up. Guy probably used to throw it in his pack sack and not really care, whatever, you know. But internally, I don't think this camera has seen a lot of... the screen on the back is beautiful. There's no cover on it or anything. So I don't think it's really seen that much action. And to pay half price of a new one, I'm happy with that. Let's get it out in the field and take a look at what these 61 megapixel images look like. right, so the a7R4 is set up, guys. Took me about 25 minutes to go through all the settings and set up the tracking and everything. They're a very detailed, like 28-page menu on the Sonys. And actually, I'm happy that I went with the a7R4 because it's the same as every camera, a7R3, a6600 that I've used. So I know where most of the stuff is and I could set it up fairly quickly. There are some new additions on this camera, of course. And right away I noticed the tracking is phenomenal. If you touch the screen to track something, it is sticky. It does not leave that object. If you touch a bird, a tree, a leaf, whatever, that box stays on there. I'm just playing here in the out the front window here. The a7R3 was, it is what it was. It was okay. It worked, and it was fantastic when you were able to do that for the first time ever. You go, wow! You touch the screen and it focuses and it locks on there. Actually, I don't think the a7R3 actually tracked. It would focus on where you touched, and you could then half press the shutter to focus on that spot, but it wouldn't track. This one actually immediately can be set to start tracking where you touch your finger, and it will just chase that thing around. So for sports or birds, that's where I'm hoping, guys. I don't want to talk too much, but so I put a screensaver on there. It's one for my phone. It's got some bubbles in it, so I'm not too happy with that, but it's there. It will protect the screen for now, and I'll buy an actual glass screen protector. I'm stoked that I got a 2021 version of this camera for $2,000. Let's go out in the field and test it. And to do so, I was going to throw on the old Minolta 500 and let's go play. No, I'm putting my best lens for E-mount on the new camera, 61 megapixels. Let's see what the Tamron 150 to 500 made for E-mount. What can it do? I'm so excited to go see the resolution we're going to get. Maybe go down to the river, see if we can get some birds in flight. I don't know. It's heavy. It's a heavier camera. The lens is heavy. Let's go do this. I want to do a little test here. This camera, even though it is 60 megapixels, will still shoot at 10 frames per second, and with an E-mount lens will focus throughout all 10 of those. The old systems used to lock focus on the first picture and then do the sequence, right? Not anymore. It will continue to track all the way through. There's just no comparison. These modern cameras are unbelievable. I'm going to go down to the river, see if we can get some birds. But before we do that, I'm going to make Gage throw the ball and come back, and we'll just do one series, a 10 burst, and see how many are in focus. I'm hoping at least 8 or 9 out of the 10 will be in focus. And that's what should be if you look at the reports online. All right, he's ready. Look at that killer instinct in the eye there. Okay, buddy, let's do this. So I am just going through the images of Gage running towards the camera, and every one of them actually is in focus. And I'll show you guys. There's one where he's in the light. So he kind of ran through some shadows, and that didn't affect it at all. But let's just zoom in and I'll show you. He is in focus. His eyes are in focus. There's an eyebrow right there. You can see it. So 10 for 10. The a7R4. Fantastic. I couldn't ask for any better than that. Yeah, we're 10 for 10. 10 for 10. Running straight back at the camera. Now I did it in 2 bursts because that's just my habit. I forgot to hold the shutter down for a full 10. I went brrr, brrr, and it just makes the camera work better if you can get into that habit, guys. Guys that hold the shutter down for 30, 40 frames, yeah, you're going to miss some. The camera has to readjust and focus. You're going to miss a frame here and there. But if you do what I just suggested, take 5, 6, or 10, brrr, let go, do it again, do it again. It's a good habit to get into. You'll get a lot more keepers. Something that I've done with this camera and never before is I set a button on the top there, a custom button to use the Super 35. So it turns the camera into an APS-C camera. So instead of getting 61 megapixels, you can get 26 megapixel photos. And that's when you're shooting birds like across the river. I've got some ducks over there. So it's just like having my a6600 in my hand, but it's this camera. And with the push of one button, I'm actually taking pictures that are 2 megapixels bigger than the a6600. So that's another great reason to grab this camera with the 61 megapixels. You then have that option to switch down and turn it into an APS-C camera whenever you want with the push of a button, and still get nice 26 megapixel images. Check these out. They're freaking, from what I can see on the screen, the detail is fantastic. So basically, by upgrading to the a7R4 high megapixel camera, it now responds and acts just like my a6600 APS-C camera. So I get all the benefits of focus tracking, the best autofocus tracking in an a7R camera to date, unless you purchase the newly announced a7R5, which is $5,300 plus tax, so $6,000. So for 1/3 of the price, I got this camera. And then this camera now will allow me to use my adapter LAEA5 with old Minolta wide angle glass. Okay, so I couldn't do that before on the a6600. Everything is cropped in, right, to APS-C. So if you put a wide angle lens on that camera, it's no longer wide angle. So now I can use my 35 millimeter at 35 millimeters and get touch focus tracking and all of the good stuff with this camera. For me, 2,000 bucks, it's worth it. You know what? Now is the time, guys, to buy one of these if you can find one for that price. Henry's is the only place I saw them selling them for that price so far. Everyone else is still around $3,400 used. So they will drop. Once the a7R5s start coming out, these will drop. Oh, I might have some more ducks coming in, so I'm going to shut up and go back to filming.